everyone. We want to help people understand and deal with narcissism and narcissistic interactions so they can get their lives back in balance. We want you to think about this question today. What happens when someone gets away from manipulation? Tell us what you think below. Narcissists need to be in charge, have power, and be able to manipulate others in their interactions. They have trouble when their power is questioned because they get a lot of their self-esteem from other people's approval. People who have broken free from narcissistic relationships can show how this insecurity can lead to bad things. For instance, if you're an adult kid of a narcissistic parent and you decide to stop giving them money or move out, they will likely get angry because they enjoy controlling the flow of money. In the same way, narcissists can act worse when they are successful or when they gain power in a relationship. If you leave a toxic, selfish boss to be independent, you might also get a bad reaction. In all of these situations, if you try to be independent, you will probably be met with opposition. It's important to know the things selfish people do to stay in charge. When you set limits, their responses, like insults, efforts to put you down, and questions about your skills, can come as a surprise. People who don't like you will often say things like you're bound to fail or your goals are stupid and will make you regret them. As we learn more about these habits, please share your thoughts and personal stories in the comments. People who are narcissists often try to make themselves look like victims by saying things like it's always your fault. They'll say they're unfairly loaded while putting the blame on you. Some people may try to get you to leave them by ignoring you or saying they'll end the relationship if you put work ahead of them. Their dishonest actions are meant to keep their power over you. In response, narcissists may start smear campaigns to spread lies about your new plans. They could stop you from making progress, hide important information, or work together to hurt you. To get over this kind of toxic stress, you need to get away from the stuffy place where your voice was muffled. On this path to self-discovery, you will take back your independence and grow your personality. However, as you stand up for yourself and break free, the narcissist may try to push you back into their web because they hate losing control. They start to see you as a problem once you're no longer under their power. If you don't do what they say, narcissists will always be after power and control because they hate being in charge. This need to be in charge stays with them whether they're a shift boss or the CEO, getting in the way of your progress to protect their ego. If a narcissist thinks they are losing power over you, they might act like a victim, change how they treat you, or even say they are going to leave. And it can be very sad to realize that this situation has kept you from reaching your goals. There are times when seeing the truth can shock you, even if you had an idea. People who are close to narcissists often think that the narcissists will leave as soon as they feel like they can't handle stress or change. So, in order to keep the friendship going, they might put themselves down. They know that trying to get away could get them laughed at, yelled at, or left behind. As long as the narcissist's wants come first, the relationship can go on. It breaks down, though, when this power balance is questioned. The narcissist could get very angry or decide to end the relationship. People in these types of relationships often don't do as much because they're afraid of getting angry or being left alone. You might not even be aware that fear is stopping you from reaching your full potential. It's important to stand up for yourself when you're with a narcissist, even if you're scared of losing control or don't like being in charge. I hope you can get over your fears and find the right life for you. You deserve to be loved and respected for who you are, and you should be in a relationship that helps you grow as a person. Thanks for watching the movie today. This is the reason why you should never drink with an ego. We are going on an amazing trip into the mysterious world where narcissism and alcohol mix, creating complex patterns in people's behavior that look like a kaleidoscope. See how alcohol has deep effects on narcissistic traits that are already strong, turning their essence into clear cues. The complexities of this relationship's secrets make ego study very hard. Join us in our quest for information, and let our desire to understand lead us as we make our way through this maze of difficulties. Ask yourself this thought-provoking question. Have you seen how a narcissist who was once hurting you changes after a few drinks? If someone is narcissistic, does it show up more openly and without shame, or does it hide in the background, muffled and hidden? Share your stories in the comments section below to help other people feel like they are not alone on their way to healing and recovery. With passion in our hearts, we dive right into this enlightening journey, uncovering the secrets that lie within the complex relationship between narcissism and alcohol. Each new piece of information adds to our rich tapestry of understanding as we make our way through the complicated dynamics that control these personalities. Let the trip go on, because the search for understanding has no limits. Without further ado, let us go on a trip into the depths of darkness to learn more about narcissists' volatile personalities. Imagine that a volcano that had been asleep all of a sudden woke up and started spewing out fiery words that destroyed everything in their path. There is a lot of stress in the air, and it builds up to a crescendo of louder screams, curses that burn your soul, and scary acts of physical violence. Look at the scary storm that is forming. It will wipe out any signs of happiness or celebration and swallow everyone up in its evil grip. 2. More powerful Machiavellian tricks. Now, let's go deeper into the depths of manipulative strategies that are made stronger by drinking. The sneaky narcissist, who is already very good at lying, takes their schemes to a whole new level. When they drink too much, the mask falls apart, showing how bad they really are. Their usual tools get stronger to unimaginable levels as their arrogance grows, feeding a never-ending sense of entitlement, shifting blame, and projecting. Contrary to what most people think, drink doesn't make them less mean. In fact, it makes them more mean, especially when they are covert narcissists. They lose their inhibitions like smoke, which lets them manipulate without limits and push the limits of their plans to catch more people who aren't paying attention. Third, dissociating while drunk. The shame shield. The narcissist uses drink as a shield to hide their deep-seated shame. They separate themselves from their true selves behind this wall of protection, making space between their carefully created public persona and who they really are. In this world, they hide from their ugly selves and the terrible truth of their existence. Their veins are numb, which makes them even less sensitive to other people's feelings and worries and less empathetic and kind than they already are. In this state of detachment, they avoid feeling shame and don't take responsibility for the pain they cause others. They stay untouchable because they are drunk on a short-lived sense of invincibility. They are trapped in the strong castle of denial, which protects them from both shame and regret. Revelations that come out of nowhere. When alcohol gets into a narcissist's mind, it brings out a lot of hidden facts that will make you very angry. As you become more and more intoxicated, the thin layers of fantasy fall apart, revealing the pure essence that lies beneath their made-up exteriors. Watch the strange paradoxes that appear as their real nature is revealed through two separate channels, making the mystery of their existence even stronger. To begin, projection becomes the main focus and turns into an all-encompassing defense system. It grows into a raging flood and is no longer just a thread going in and out of their conversations. Their anger used to be contained, but now it's in the air around them, waiting to catch victims and onlookers who aren't doing anything wrong. Second, in the middle of the chaos, brief moments of clarity appear, giving us sneak peeks into who they really are. They can see and feel what they really want as the veil quickly lifts. In these rare moments, they may reveal hidden facts about their narcissistic traits, such as short-lived feelings of self-loathing, random moments of empathy, or even an unsettling liking for chaos and drama. These discoveries, like broken pieces of illusions, give us tantalizing glimpses into the deepest parts of things. But be careful, because if you ask them about these statements when they are sober, they will deny them, making sure that they quickly deny being vulnerable. In conclusion, drinking is very bad for narcissists because it upsets their delicate balance. The covert reveal their secret plans, going beyond their normal covert behavior to act in a more obvious way when they are high. Overt people enjoy the spotlight because it makes them look even more grand, while real feelings stay hidden under the enticing surface. Some areas of shame, anger, and raw emotions come to the surface. Although it seems counterintuitive, drinking also gives them a short-term break, a safe place where they can temporarily forget about the problems they caused. As this exciting episode comes to a close, may the effects of these discoveries spread through your mind. Talk about your thoughts, start a conversation, and tell other people about this episode. That's how we'll find comfort, by seeking knowledge and healing. Let the mysterious dance of the never-ending journey of finding go on until our paths cross again. Dive into the intricate depths of the narcissistic psyche as we uncover the 5 concealed vulnerabilities they strive to conceal. Accompany me on this expedition through the labyrinth of self-centeredness, revealing the hidden truths lurking beneath the facade. Despite projecting an image of invincibility, narcissists harbor profound imperfections that, once exposed, can shatter the meticulously crafted personas they cling to. They exude arrogance, yet beneath the surface lies a fear of inadequacy, a perpetual quest for validation, and an insatiable hunger for praise. The Achilles heel of narcissists is their incessant craving for external approval, rendering them susceptible to manipulation and exploitation. Furthermore, their lack of empathy impedes genuine connections, leaving them isolated and engaged in internal strife. Their fragile egos render them even more susceptible, unable to withstand even the mildest critique. By shedding light on these flaws, we can better understand narcissism and how it affects both the person who has it and those around them. Now is the time to end the circle of manipulation and start the real healing process. Are you ready to find out what's really going on behind the selfish mask? Let's go deep into things. When people are angry at narcissists, it really hurts their pride. It throws them off, which makes their stress and worry levels rise. This makes it hard for them to deal with things normally, which makes them act like people with borderline personality disorder. Explosive temper tantrums, strong feelings, and trouble controlling anger or jealousy. When they're angry, their normal behaviors get worse, and they can even look like main psychopaths. In the same way, people with borderline personality disorder show signs of secondary psychopathy when they are angry. People with borderline personality disorder and narcissists both have a hard time in these situations and will do almost anything to get some relief. Most people try to deal with problems quietly, but narcissists may have violent outbursts, using words or physical violence in what we call a corrosive snap. Basically, narcissists try to change everyone into their perfect picture, even though each person has their own feelings and thoughts. When they are met with pushback, they may go to great lengths, even violence. It's important to know that narcissists often blame themselves for their problems instead of seeing that the problem comes from outside sources. They think of people as things instead of free, independent beings. Because of this, when they are angry, they act aggressively to try to force others to conform to their idealized picture. It's hard to deal with a narcissist because they see other people not as they really are but as projections of their own dreams. When things don't go the way they want them to, they can lose their cool and become violent until they feel in control again. This never-ending cycle of anger keeps the dispute going and makes things worse. Also, when they are under a lot of stress, they may enter a borderline state marked by damaging and impulsive behavior that can lead to the famous outbursts called borderline rage. Sometimes, narcissists act like cold and calculated psychopaths, showing no emotion and only caring about themselves. Because narcissism changes how people see reality, people in both the borderline and psychopathic states live in dream worlds. Similar to how extreme cases are sensationalized in the media, a narcissist's psychopathic traits can be very scary. They don't care about other people as they go from a troubling state to an even darker one. At first, narcissists may act like they are completely normal people, good at hiding who they really are. They might not show anger, but instead put on a front of friendliness and love, even pretending to be the perfect partner. Of course, there is a feeling of unease beneath this surface. They act sarcastic and angry to avoid dealing with problems directly and put on a front of being nice and caring. But you shouldn't be fooled. Behind this mask is a bad intention, whether it's to hurt you physically or ruin your job. These secret plans, whether they are carried out in public or behind closed doors, are a web of lies that mislead people about what is really going on. Even though the bad people seem to be in charge, The victims are in constant pain because of these actions, like a wound that won't heal, leaving them deeply hurt and unable to recover. Let's look at the borderline state, which is a place with two different sides. Narcissists may lose their cool or have temper tantrums for no reason at any given time. In the next, they may slowly cause trouble by putting the blame on other people, which is a sign of hidden narcissism. Narcissists can enter this state when they are under a lot of stress, no matter what method they take. They can surprise people with sudden anger outbursts or a buildup of tension over time. Watch out for people who hide their real intentions behind a normal front, waiting for the right time to strike. In order to protect themselves, some people often put the blame for their actions on others and may use violence or aggressiveness to explain their actions. For them, winning becomes their only goal, and losing can make them feel hopeless, which can lead to bad habits like drug abuse and losing touch with reality. They use psychological trickery, especially on people close to them, and become even more cruel when their emotional bonds are threatened. For some people, vocal abuse can turn into physical violence, treating others like things that don't have any feelings. People who are deeply paranoid or who are desperately seeking revenge are the most dangerous because they use stalking and abuse to get what they want. In this way, we can see a basic human trait that is deeply ingrained in us. However, the ways that people seek revenge can be very different. Sometimes, people with big egos can't understand how complicated this quest is. As opposed to only wanting to get back at the person who hurt them, a more constructive method is to focus on fairness and making sure the victim feels safe again. It means holding the person responsible, giving the victim comfort, and making sure that society takes the event seriously. If someone's need for payback takes over their thoughts and makes them do things that are bad for themselves, it can turn into a destructive behavior spiral. Fixation like this can hurt relationships and mental health if nothing is done to stop it. This can lead to long-term effects. Narcissistic payback works on a completely different level. It's a way for narcissists to boost their fragile egos and feel better about themselves after being hurt or humiliated. Instead of blaming others, they change the story to show they are in charge, which hides any feelings of not being good enough. People who are dealing with narcissistic tendencies can benefit from tools like my videos, which offer helpful insights and ways to cope. Narcissists think they are perfect and almost divine, and they respond to criticism by doing things that make them feel even better about their own imagined superiority. This way of thinking usually comes from being embarrassed, which goes against their idea of themselves as perfect and all-powerful. Narcissists try to feel important again by making other people suffer. This makes them feel better about themselves than others. So, when they punish people they think are breaking the rules, those who question their authority, refuse to do what they say, or hurt their reputation, they feel powerful in a strange way, which reinforces their false belief that they are all-powerful. If you can't stop thinking about getting revenge, take a moment to think about whether these feelings are caused by hurt pride or unhealthy selfish tendencies. Instead of giving in to your egotistical urges, focus on dealing with the real feelings of hurt. Check yourself to see if your desire for revenge is in line with truth and justice or if it's just for your own benefit, which is more likely the case. Seeking revenge to restore balance and protect yourself is a valid reaction, as long as it doesn't become a way to boost your ego. Instead of looking for revenge, it's important to work toward asserting rights and repairing relationships. As a way to deal with the pain that other people's intentional wrongdoing causes, just wanting things to go back to normal and undo the harm done can help. Restitution and compensation are fair and realistic ways to fix the problem, giving everyone involved a fair chance to make things right. People usually do one of two things when they are in trouble. They either punish themselves for being wrong or they look for practical, fair answers. People who are healthy tend to choose the second option, while people who are self-centered and have a high opinion of themselves tend to choose the first option. The main difference between these two types of action is shown by this dichotomy. I hope I haven't come across as too hostile, but if I have, please know that you are free to react